Good morrow, everyone. This is CedLove with his Devil's Advocate podcast. Hope you're having a good day, and if not, hope tomorrow goes better. I will say, with the start of 2021, a whole lot of craziness has been happening, but no matter what's happening in the world, you should still always focus on yourself. So, one thing I definitely told myself that I'm going to do, this year, be more proactive, definitely stop being lazy, especially in your own home, and stop trying to put things off to the last minute. One thing that I know I have a habit of doing when I'm around people who I'm super, super comfortable with, so girlfriend, mother, maybe some others in the world, I get really lazy. And I'm not saying lazy, at my house I'll clean the bathroom, at their house I won't clean the bathroom, or at my house I will cook, but at their house I won't cook. I'm talking about I go to this individual house, I will plop on the couch, and I'm just stuck there for the next 2-3 days. I don't know why. It's just my body's just you're with somebody who, I can't say wants to take care of you, but you're just around somebody, if you ask them, hey, can you give me a glass of water, they'll do it. And if you ask 5 times, they probably will still get you that glass of water. I feel loved. I'm not going to lie. I feel loved. But I did notice at a certain point last year, definitely because of COVID, my laziness has just been brought way more up than it should. So this year, I've been trying to, as I said, be productive, be less lazy, just do things. Obviously, one of the few things that I've definitely been doing since the new year, as y'all can hear, I've been doing more with my creativeness. So a few TikToks, YouTube, Twitching now. So, I'm not trying to promote myself here. I'm just saying, I'm trying to be more, again, productive with these things. So, I'm trying to come up with a schedule. So right now, again, this is not me trying to advertise, just letting you know this is what I've been going through since the beginning of the year. I figure Monday, upload a video to YouTube. Tuesday, do a Twitch. Wednesday, do TikToks. Thursday, upload a podcast. Friday, upload. Technically, it's supposed to be some random video. Recently, just been, my Twitch videos just shortened down. But, just upload something on YouTube again on Friday. The reason I bring it up, because even though I keep saying the word upload, I still need time to actually create these things. Now, obviously, I have the weekend, but, I don't want to be working all week with my regular job. And then after I get off of work, continue to be creative, still use your mind and all that stuff, with the videos and stuff like that. But at the same time, the weekend is one of the best times to create these things. So just it's right now my productivity is there, but man, let me tell y'all, it is hard. It is hard sometimes to wake up on a Saturday, chill for a good 3 hours, maybe work out, maybe some food, watch TV. Then all of a sudden be all right, cool. Let me sit down, create a skit. All right, let me make sure all my equipment works for when I do a Twitch on Tuesday. All right, let me come up with ideas, maybe not for next week, but months from now. It's being productive. Yes, you say it's easy, but to start it, to start it is not as hard, but to keep it going, it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult. So with my laziness, as I said, I'm trying to get over that. So in my own house, same thing, trying to wash dishes instead of every 4 to 5 days, which I'm not saying I have a lot of bugs and I'm not even saying I have a lot of dishes, but I just feel myself, if I'm going to use the same pot, plate, fork for a good minute, what's the point of washing it? But let me try to actually wash my dishes, if not every day, at least every 2 days. If I'm on the couch and I'm just really, really lazy, but I got to get up to turn off the light or get up to make sure I throw this thing away instead of just leaving trash on the floor, or I don't know. It's the simple things. It's instead of just pushing it off, just go ahead and do it, get up and roll. Biggest thing, food. So, because COVID last year, it wasn't the brightest idea to actually go to the grocery stores. But at the same time, you don't want to be spending too much money on restaurants and fast food and chains and all this shebang. So this year, definitely been trying to get out more to Publix, Walmart, Target, Trader Joe's, to buy more food. And I feel when it comes to just getting up to going to the store, me personally, it's not at the store. It's just the getting up part. I can be on the couch, chilling, comfortable clothes, don't want to go outside in the cold. But to actually make the effort to stand up, go to your closet, grab a coat, go to your drawer, grab some pants, because I don't wear pants because of COVID no more, and I don't go to work, so I don't wear pants. Do all that stuff just to make the preparations just to leave the house. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little taxing. It's a little taxing. But as I said, I'm trying to get over that, so when I know for sure I need food, as soon as work over at 5 o'clock, I make sure everything's all good, and I try to be at the door by 5:20. So basically, I'm telling myself, for sure, if you don't leave the house by this certain time, you probably not going to have no food for tonight, or at least not have food for the rest of the year. So I definitely seen a positive trend when it comes to my laziness. I've been getting food more. As right now, I'm staying on top with my, creativeness. But, y'all know me well enough. I'll upload something for like 2-3 months, and all of a sudden I'll just disappear for a while. So who knows how long that's gonna keep up. I've been more interacting with my friends. My friend just got a house. Went to his house about a couple weekends ago. Celebrate with him. We were, well, I can't even say, I'm not gonna lie, we weren't social distancing, but it was just one of those situations. The people that was there, I knew all of them, but maybe like 5. So I trusted everybody else because I just know these people. But it was just, I did stuff to not be, well, I guess you wouldn't consider this lazy, but instead of just being cooped up on the couch next to my comfortable heater, watching my TV, playing my video games, I was out in the world doing stuff. And as always, everybody's New Year's resolution, working out. So me, been working out more. Actually added weights to my workout. Not a big deal. I hate weights with a passion. I'm definitely a cardio man. I would rather do insanity. I would rather run. Honestly, if I could swim like, the Olympians, I'd probably swim a lot more. But it would just come down to whatever you can do on dry land. So I definitely been working out more. Been working out since December 28th. And as of right now, I have not missed a week. Another part of me is like, preparation of food instead of buying like box dinners. In fact, been cutting up vegetables, boiling eggs, a week in advance. So, I ain't got to worry about, boiling them per day. Trying to do my variety of food instead of trying to buy food that, takes like 10 minutes to cook. I already said box food, but, there's other food that don't take 10 minutes to cook. I'm buying food that, it takes a little effort. You got to make sure you turn the meat right. Got to make sure you pepper it a little right. After you cook, you got to clean up the kitchen and stuff. And I would say clean up the kitchen. So, again, I'm not a dirty person, but, there's a little difference between like putting up the food and like a little wipe down as opposed to like truly wiping down the grease off the stove, truly make sure everything's in order. I don't know, it's just hard to explain. It's just like one thing people keep telling you to make your life better. You definitely got to start with yourself. Like one simple thing people always tell people, just drink water. Drinking water helps with your stamina, clears up your skin. Also, I think it's definitely good for your body, which that's kind of redundant. But it's like the perks of drinking water is there, but people like us in America who kind of have access to water whenever they want, they just don't drink water. So me, who's lazy all the time and can probably make his life better just putting a little effort, is like, I don't know, it just, it's like this year, just like, all right, let's go. Like, what's holding you back, besides COVID, that's the other thing. What's holding you back? So I just feel good that for the first month of 2021, I feel like I've done real good when it comes to my productivity with my non-being laziness. And, hopefully it will keep going into like the summertime. Because I would say one thing about the cold is you definitely like to be cuddled up because it's cold and you want to deal with the world. But once it gets hot, you really don't want to go outside because it's hot. But, you never know. You never know. So my productivity has gone up 2021. I feel good because that's definitely a mental thing. It's not really something somebody told me, hey, Cedric, you're fat, you're lazy, or, me looking at a scale, say, oh, Cedric, you're fat. It's just like something about me mentally was like, all right, I just really feel lazy and I don't really like this part of me. As simple as that. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It was just, I looked at myself or talked to myself or whatever the heck to myself, and it was just like, not cool, man. Not cool. You better than this. So I feel good about 2021. So, as I said, I'm not really trying to have podcasts that really sound like essays. So, at this point, we can change the subject real quick. It don't really matter. My podcast. So, houses. Oh, Cedric, you said you weren't going to talk about essays. I'm not doing an essay right now. Just talk about houses. The reason I'm talking about houses is because I've never really lived in a house the majority of my life. Obviously, there were some times I was in a house, and I was definitely like, well, not that house, but I was been in a house in accumulation of above, a couple years. Not that crazy. I basically lived in apartments the majority of my life for the last 8 years. Not 8 years, like 7 years. I've been in an apartment. Before that, dorm. Before that, apartments. Before that, houses or apartments. But anyway, houses. I'm basically getting at that age right now where it's like, I don't need to buy a house. It is not recommended to buy a house. But should I buy a house? I don't really want to buy a house. I live in Atlanta, Georgia right now. And obviously, if you know Atlanta, you got the circle of Atlanta. But, you got like Marietta, other places outside Atlanta. Sorry, people, I live in Atlanta the whole time. But I don't know places like Norcross, Sandy Springs, College Park. I'm just going to name those so Atlanteans won't be mad at me. All them shebangs. Oh, Smyrna, them higher up places. Even though I live in this location, I really just don't want to buy a house in Atlanta. It's just something about Atlanta. It's like I talked to my friend, and if you're a small town kid, who I believe I'm a small town kid, when you hear about these big cities like Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Atlanta, some other places in the world that technically are big city places. Obviously, there's a good chance people don't live in those big cities, but they're adjacent to those big cities. Like, hey, Monday through Friday, we work in not small town, but a smaller scale place compared to Atlanta. And on the weekend, you can take your friends, your family out to Atlanta and spend a day in Atlanta. So I've been in Atlanta now for 4 years now, and I'm just like, like I'm not really impressed by like Atlanta. Like I've been to LA one time, well twice. I've been to LA twice. The first time, ain't lie, I didn't really like it just because that was the first time I was really in a big city like that by myself. Second time with my girlfriend, I enjoyed LA more. And I will really say one really LA was more Santa Monica. So, just that general area, I enjoyed the scenery, the location. Would I buy a house in that area based off prices? Probably not, but I'm just saying, right now I got a better chance of buying a house in LA than buying in Atlanta just because California just felt right. And I know there are definitely some negative talk on like San Francisco and probably some other places over there in California, but for the little bit I was there, compared to Atlanta, Georgia, or at least Georgia, not a big fan. So the whole house thing is, I've had a few friends, so people my own age, buy houses within the last 2-3 years. Sometimes I'm a little jealous, but then when I get to the house, you're a human being, you walk to somebody's house, you're like, huh, okay, carpet, hardwood floor, okay, got your little island, okay, washer and dryer, got the big backyard, got the small backyard, okay, look at you. Back in your mind, the stuff you don't like, you saying in your head, but out loud, good job, bro. Look at you, man. You growing up, good job. But then, after a few minutes, I get a little jealous, like, dang, man, I wish I had a house. I wish after work I can just go somewhere and open the door and you just have this roomy area to know, like, oh, this is mine after probably like 200 payments of $500, $800, however much a house costs, or the mortgage. I'm like, man, I kind of want a house. I want to be able to like wake up, cut my grass, go to next door, borrow some sugar, have the kids playing around the front yard, backyard, throw a little baseball, throw a little football. Got my own little carport, got my own garage. I ain't gonna lie, my garage will not be cluttered. I just don't see how that happens. It's like, bruh, it's called spring cleaning. That means you technically supposed to clean everything in your vicinity within a year, or at least every year. So, I don't see how to, either way, I'll top it. So I'm just like, I want all that. I want the kids, Mr. Love, what up, Mr. Love? Can we get a box of cookies, Mr. I don't know why people ask me for box of cookies. I'm just that cool dad, but maybe not the cool dad. Maybe they're just weird and just want some cookies. I don't know. Either way, every time I see somebody get a house, majority that goes through my mind, I'm just like, I can get a house. But then 20 minutes after that, like, I want a house. Like, I'm cool having an apartment. Like, right now, I'm not a single bachelor, but because I live by myself, I consider myself a bachelor. Got a girlfriend, lover. Because I live by myself, I don't see the point of getting a house. If something breaks, I can call maintenance. They can come fix it. Also, that's another thing. A little bit off topic. I know that if you have your own house, or probably your own apartment if you want to, you can actually hire a plumber to fix things. But here's the thing, it's not like you actually hire a plumber once. You can actually give them like a payment of like $60 a month, and they are just your plumber. So every time something breaks, you just call them, hey, I need you to swing by my house like, tomorrow, next week, fix my stuff. They come in, they fix their thing, boom, gone. That's it. I'm not saying there's no extra payment, but it's like because you paid that plumber $60 a month, that is your plumber. So I feel like when I get my house, I'm going to look for my plumber, so I'm going to have it. Just throwing it out there. Once I heard that was a thing, I was like, what? Why they always showing movies and stuff like that where people like open up the yellow pages or got to Google a plumber? Like, bruh, find your plumber early. Boom, $60 a month. You is my plumber for life. Back on topic. So as I said, got an own apartment complex. I'm the only person that live here. Some breaks, got maintenance, what's called. The location of my apartment complex don't really count because I'm in a very specified location. Like, I lucked up. I'm literally 3 minutes from my job. But based on the way Atlanta's looking, if I got a house, I'm probably going to be 40 minutes to an hour away. And I'm just like, I know we work from home, but I just don't want to be that far. It just feels weird to make that trip. Again, that's based off what I buy. But I'm saying, right now, looking at it, I'm going to be 40 minutes to an hour away from like something important to me. So I'm like, don't want that. There's also another better reasons why I just prefer an apartment complex on the house. But also, the whole ordeal of getting a house, getting a loan, getting HOA, getting, approved from some other stuff that, I'm not even trying to like deal with right now. It's just like, And then, if you get a house, what do you want? A 3 stories? So, top floor, middle floor, basement. Do you just want 2 stores? Like, I want yard space. I want enough yard space where you can like do a little in the front yard, but not too big. But I want a lot of backyard space so my kids can like have somewhere to play around. Obviously, I want a porch. I told you I want a garage. I want a den, dining room, living room, kitchen, upstairs. I want the upstairs to be big, just like downstairs. I'm a big man. I want to be able to walk and like reach my hands. And I'm just like, if I can't find the perfect house, I ain't gonna want no house. Cedric, the house you're talking about, celebrities. Hey, that's why I'm on YouTube. I want to make the money so I can buy a house. But just like, I think like when people get so excited about talking about houses, like, oh, we're gonna have a ceiling fan in the kitchen, we're gonna have a TV in the bathroom, we're gonna have like marble for like the shower head, and I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I feel like I can look at HGTV, I can go to people's houses and like kind of point out, oh, that's not a bad idea, but I just can't get excited for houses because I've never lived in a house. I live in an apartment, but even if I live in apartments, I've never been excited for an apartment complex. I worked in an apartment complex, and at this point, I'm just like, bro, ain't no place you live perfect. Everywhere you live, you love it probably for the first week, or you hate it for the first week. Over time, you come to terms with what you at, and sometimes you'll probably still hate your place, but you'll love it because, it's yours. Like, that's just my opinion. It's not pessimistic, but I'm just saying, if you just truly hate a place where you live that bad, you're gonna move. But if you don't move, it's either you're in a bad situation where you can't move, or you come to terms with it, or, you secretly love it. So it's just like when people talk about houses, what they gonna do and all that, and just like, it's just like, I can't really join the conversation. Like, I want to be happy with you. I want to be happy for you. I kind of wish I was happy. Well, I would say with you, but together, like, I wish like we can like trade, I don't know, pin interest, house ideas and stuff like that. But I just can't. I've never been a house person. Never really lived in one. I've lived in a few, but they weren't even mine. It'd be like somebody lived at the house for years. I would come live with them for like a year or two, move. So it's like, I just never really felt a connection to a house, except my grandma. So I kind of want to buy that house just so I can have that house and be like, yep, that's my house. I'll renovate it. I probably won't rent it out to people because, I don't want that. But, if I ever swing by my home state, I got a place to stay. I want that house to be the concrete thing in my life. Because once that's gone, I have nothing to grab onto besides family in my old age. It's like, dang, man, that's all I got. That is all I got. But yeah, so the hype for houses, I just never got into it ever. Even as an adult, there's a lot of things I definitely want. Like, I'm having my fatherly instincts kicked in where I want a kid. I just want to take care of something. So I've been thinking about getting a dog. Thinking about my career, finally, because the job I have right now, I'm just there to get a paycheck. I kind of been thinking about, getting a promotion or, looking at other businesses like Amazon, U-Haul, Nike, like, just throw my resume out, see what happens. Obviously, been thinking about my relationship futures, what am I going to do in 5 years from now? Who knows? But, it's like all in my mind, so all this popped in my head. But every time I think about all this, a house is just not in my mind. I'm not saying if I get married, I'm not getting a house, obviously. But just like buying a house right now is just not there. It's like people say the words, I want to get married, I want to get a house, I want to have children. Majority of the time in that order. In my mind, I was like, I want to get married. At that point, I feel like everything else is kind of working itself out. Because I said, if I get married, I know I'm going to get a house. I just ain't thought about the house. I want a job I love, which I'm still working on. But, hopefully I'll figure that out soon. I told you, I want to take care of something. I don't really want kids. I do want a dog. But even if I don't get a dog this very moment, I'm going to get a dog one day. But that house, though, it's like, we can't live in an apartment for like 3 years before we get, serious. I think it's amazing for the people who actually do buy houses. So you purchase 3 or more houses in your life. What does it feel like? Are you in your mind really just purchasing a house? Are you purchasing a home? And you know what I mean when I say like a house, roof over your head, you pay the bills, electricity, AC, all that stuff work, certain point, boop, you gone. But a home, like at a certain point, you start putting the notches on like the corners of the doors so you can see how tall the kids are. You gonna have that stain after the first week you moved in. That's just gonna be the stain for the rest of your life. Somebody spilled some great Kool-Aid or somebody burnt the floor with a curling iron. Your stove don't work, but if you jiggle it a little, bam, you gotta work. Like, that's your home. Like, right, how this thing work. You here for life. Or do you want a house? And it's like, I think with what I just said, I think that's what's wrong with me. I don't really have a home like that. So I never really cared for a house. Like apartments, in my opinion, just can't be a home. Like at a certain point, apartment complex will either get bought out by somebody else, or worst case scenario, they just gonna tear the apartments down. So I can't really say apartment being a home, but a house could be a home. But I never really got connected to a house like that, except one. But it's because it's the only house. How about that? I got connected to that house just because it's the only house I got. That's simple as that. It ain't like I was there from 0 to current, well, not current, but like 18 to college. But it's like, if I thought of a home, it's like, this is the prime example. When you try to create password for certain random sites, they always ask you so many, security questions. And some of them like, what's your first pet? What's the name of your middle school? Something about your house. That's it. Something about your house. And every time I think of that, I'm like, oh, I don't really have a house, but I got this house. Let me use this information, like the address or like, the specific, I guess, not like the neighborhood call. When you roll in, you got the little, that little thing. So like, I usually make that the thing because I'm like, I know for sure that's something that's concrete in my life. So in the future, when I actually buy a house, hopefully I can do that. Name something about your house. Oh yeah, in the backyard, in a little corner, is like a little hole where a little fox dug through because she was pregnant. All of a sudden, she gave birth to like these little baby foxes. We call her Matilda, we call her little Johnny, we call her little Billy. That's the Fox family. Every blue moon, they just like show, like that's a home. You got stories with that, man. You got stories. It's like I tell you, when my friends buy their houses, and for the 10 minutes I'm a little jealous, it's because in my mind, like, oh snap. They might have found a home. They finna make memories. They made memories of buying the house. They took the picture, put it on Facebook. Hey, new homeowners. They picture like, oh, this is gonna be the guest room. It's gonna be the drinking room. This is gonna be the yoga room, the workout room. They got all that planned out. But they barely only been there a month, and they got so many plans. Cause they got the house. Right now, because I'm not looking for a house, I just can't really get engaged in house topic because I can't feel myself wanting a house right now. I want a home. Everybody wants a home. But what if I buy a house and it doesn't become a home? Oh snap, he dropped it. Therapy. Yo, it got really deep in here. I was not trying to get that deep, but I guess that's one reason I don't want to buy a house. Because what if I buy a house and it does not become a home for me? One, waste of money. Well, not waste of money, but I don't want to say waste of money, and I can't say it didn't go to a good reason, but just like, I spent money on this place and it didn't become a home. He's like, well, dang. Sorry about that, y'all. I said it got a little deep, so it'd be like that. So, I already technically asked it earlier in this podcast, but I asked it again. For the people who have purchased multiple homes, so let's go 3 or more. Unless it was truly like you just had to move for a job, or, you moved for like personal reason, like move close to your mother, or just, maybe you was like in the South during Hurricane Katrina. You just had to get, whatever your reason is. Every time you purchase a house, do you think you purchase majority of them because you believe you're purchasing a home? Or are you really just purchasing a house just to have a house? Because there's been plenty of arguments in the world like you should have a house over an apartment. And I'm like, at the end of the day, they kind of balance out. It's just one is yours, the other one is yours to rent. So it's like, So yeah, people who purchase more than one house, do you really feel like you was actually purchasing a home every time you bought one? Or do you think you were just purchasing a house and that's it? Let me know in the comments. Just curious. Either way, my name is CedLove, aka the Black Mario Bro. This has been his Devil's Advocate podcast, and I'll see you soon. The reason I'm talking about houses is one that word.